Hello everyone, we have some sad news. Armando, his glasses died and he's at their funeral right now.
Oh no. Rest in peace, glasses. They broke.
I know. So
The biggest tragedy.
unfortunately, he is unable to be here during this tough time. If you
Mm-hmm.
could all wish him well on Twitter, just say at ArmsMXZ, rest in peace.
Mm-hmm.
Just,
Yeah, hashtag rest in peace, glasses.
yes. It would mean the world to him if you could
Mm-hmm.
help him through this tough time.
Mm-hmm. But if you haven't picked up on this, we're down a host today, so it's just the two of us. We're obviously going to do our best here, so
Yes.
we've got some good topics. And that includes Zelda rumors, Mighty Number 9, Miitomo, Pokemon Go. So we don't have too much, but some good stuff to talk about. Anyway, so we're going to start with what we've been playing this week. And I'm going to start by saying I've had a pretty busy week. However, in my free time, I've been checking in on Miitomo. I've gotten all my rewards for all my days. So, yeah, basically, I've been pretty obsessively checking both Miitomo and my Nintendo to make sure I get every single reward. Because I've already redeemed Twilight Princess Picross, and I'm aiming to get WarioWare Touched. So I think that'll be pretty fun. I think I'm currently at about 350 platinum coins, and I have to get to 1,000 for WarioWare. So it's a slow but steady race. We're making our way there. I'm hoping by the end of April I'll have it, or probably even sooner than that. But we'll see. And yeah, pretty much only Miitomo this week, just because it's good to play in 5-10 minute periods when you're between different things. Just because I've been busy as a whole this week. So yeah.
So I got WarioWare Touched instead of Twilight Princess Picross,
Nice.
just because I'd heard Twilight Princess Picross wasn't that fun. If you've played any Picross game before, it just gets really stale. So I was like, I might as well get at least a game I know will be fun then. I'll
Right.
probably get that next unless they add something I really want before I get to 1,000 again.
Yeah.
I also beat Pokemon Emerald and started Pokemon Platinum. I played Miitomo. I think that's it.
Nice. Yeah, sadly, I didn't get to play Picross this week. I mean, it's
Oh,
Picross.
I
Oh, yeah?
beat WarioWare Touched. I think I just
Oh,
said
nice.
I played it, but I beat it in a week.
Cool.
It's pretty short, but fun.
Nice. And I'm assuming it has the same thing as all the other games where you can get, like, high scores, so there's sort of
Yeah.
incentive to replay for, like, how far you can go. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I haven't done that yet. There's also when you finish all the like characters microgame stuff, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
This bear shows up. I'm not sure if he's from any other WarioWare games, but it's just kind of a how far can you go thing, and it mixes all the different microgames.
Okay. Yeah.
And then when you beat that, another one comes, and you can do the same thing but with one life.
Oh, wow. So you can't lose anything. That's crazy. That's like extreme mode. Yeah, the only one I've played is the first Game Boy Advance one. I think it's like Mega Micro Games. And I thought it was pretty great. Does this one have any of the same local mini games that one had, like the multiplayer? Or is it purely single player?
It has a couple. There's like this ping pong game where you hold your DS sideways, and one of you uses the L button and one uses the R button, and the paddles automatically move to where the ball's going. I think there was another one. There was only like one or two though.
Got it. That's cool. Yeah, I definitely want to check that one out next. I really like WarioWare, so that'll hopefully be fun. And as for Picross, it's Picross. There's nothing too unique about it. Of course, it has like Zelda music and theming, but that's not really a huge deal. So if you like Picross and you want more Picross, it's good. For me, it turns out I am not as good at Picross as I thought, so I'm getting stuck pretty early. So I'm actually having to sharpen up quite a bit on my Picross. I thought I was some hot stuff at Picross, but it turns out Mario Picross has a much slower difficulty curve.
Yeah, I played Mario Picross after Pokemon Picross, and it was just like ball, apple, ship.
Yep. Yeah, because Mario Picross has a lot more levels. It is like 3 big worlds, and the first world is just incredibly easy. So I thought it was like hot stuff. I thought it was hot stuff when I beat the first world. but this game has shown me otherwise. But I guess I'm having fun learning the better techniques of it. But anyway, as for the eShop this week, a few interesting releases. I'm going to go through the Wii U eShop releases first. Super Robo Mouse from RC Madiax, which is a game that's been, I guess, in the works from him for a while. He's the one who's pumped out a ton of cheap eShop releases, not dissimilar to, what's that tree studio? Like something Tree Games. The guys that made The Letter. I forget what they're called.
Yeah, I forget.
But this game is sort of like a labyrinth in which you control a mouse, but it's funny because it's a computer mouse, but also a animal mouse. Teehee, hilarious. And it looks to be pretty simple, but the gameplay looks all right, I guess. I don't want to judge it at face value. And of course, there's a game called Epic Dumpster Bear.
Woo!
Yeah.
Gaudy.
I know. So that's a good name, and possibly my favorite. I mean, I don't know which one I like more, the Epic Bear or Emoji Kara, a clever emoji match game. Not sure if that's copyrighted, not sure if they can do that. But I guess they can. I wonder if it's actual emoji or like knockoff emoji. I would bet it's knockoff.
Well, emoji look different on every
true,
device.
on different platforms.
So even if they are just knockoff, then who's to say that can't be what an emoji looks like?
Good point. And on the Wii U Virtual Console, probably the most worthwhile out of those releases is Game & Watch Gallery 4. And I believe it's Game Boy Advance.
Yeah.
And those games are usually pretty good. And this one's pretty cheap. It's only $7, and I think it's 4 games in one, and they're all pretty polished and with lots of replay value. So if you're interested in those types of things, check that out. And on 3DS, there's Doll Fashion Atelier, I never knew how to pronounce that word. And I guess you dress up dolls. That's my best guess.
Whoa.
And
Why is there so much gaudy material this week?
I don't know. It's good stuff. And Fire Emblem Fate's new DLC map, Anna on the Run.
That's got nothing on dressing up dolls.
Oh, nothing. And well, actually, the best thing I haven't even mentioned yet, there's Disney themes, though. So you have Frozen, Stitch and Company, The Little Mermaid, and Mickey and Friends. So it's kind of interesting that those are there. They even have Disney music. It's sort of like a knockoff version a little bit. Like, it's not the real version of Let It Go. It's like a MIDI piano version or whatever. But hey, it's better than nothing.
Okay.
I guess if you're a Disney fan, go for it. I might get the Mickey one.
Can I just say how annoying it is seeing Japan get 17 themes this week? And most of them are things that I would want. There's 2 based off an anime that just started airing that I'm enjoying. There's one based off a singer that me and Arms like. And it's why does Japan get all these cool themes?
Yeah.
All I can think of is licensing. Because,
the
music, to license the music.
Right. Yeah, the music is, and it feels like the music is pretty key for those themes, because if you have a cool image without the music, it's this is kind of cool, but for me the music is
that one that Arms is freaking out over, Pele, she's a singer, so presumably...
You kind of need them.
And the theme's named after her new song, so that song probably plays.
Right.
And would kind of be dumb if it's just a picture of her. That would look kind of weird.
Yeah. Just with the regular default music.
Yeah.
Anyway, so not a great week for the eShop. One thing I thought released this week, but actually didn't see on here, were the 3DS Virtual Console, the new 3DS games, so Donkey Kong Country 2, Super Metroid.
Isn't that next week?
I thought that was this week. I could be wrong.
Aren't they every second week?
I guess you're right. Good point. So maybe that's not this week. I thought it was. Good thing I didn't try to buy it on the eShop last night. But anyway, so yeah, that's it for the Nintendo download. And our first topic is relating to Pokemon, more specifically Pokemon Go, which is a game that has been field testing for a little under a month in Japan now. And we've got a lot of details from that. And now we know that it's, I believe, now available in Australia and New Zealand, so slowly making its way around the world. This is the first time it'll be released in a territory where English being the primary language. And yeah, I mean, I guess it's cool for it to be out of Japan, even if it's not here yet or in Europe yet. Just it's like baby steps, Mm-hmm. I'm hoping that by the time E3 rolls around, we have the field test here or the game out here. I really don't know about their launch window. I don't know how, like, I know they're planning on launching this year, but I don't know when this year, really. I guess we're going to find out. But yeah, hopefully we get some more details out of that, even though they've been trying to, well, suppress all the leaks. The more territories it's available in, the more leaks we're going to get, so we'll see how that goes. And in less positive, but also not surprising news, is that Mighty Number 9 once again may have been delayed. What is this, like the third or fourth time? No kidding.
It's the 9th time.
Yeah, once we hit the 9th time, that's when it'll release. They need to have 9 delays. But yeah, this is pretty ridiculous. I completely understand when a game has 1 or 2 delays, but I'm positive this game has been delayed at least, I think, 4 times now.
And the greatest part is, during the week, Inafune released something. I know.
Yeah, he released his Mario Maker level. So wasn't this originally supposed to launch spring 2015?
Originally?
Yeah.
I think it was February 2015.
Yeah. So
and then it was delayed to April 2015.
Mm-hmm.
Then I think fall, and then April 2016. No, spring 2016.
Okay.
And the thing that's causing this is all of a sudden, as soon as spring hit, Mighty Number 9's social media pages just went dead, and Deep Silver isn't saying anything about the game either. So it just seems why stop talking as soon as your release window hits?
Right, yeah, so it seems like that's... So it sort of is based on speculation, but it seems like pretty fair speculation there. That seems like a reasonable thing to assume based on the state of things. And it's like, it is frustrating how many times they have it delayed, but hey, I guess at least they are working to make it good, right? Like, it's hard for me to get mad at them. I know a lot of people are frustrated, and it's like, yeah, you were initially promised a February 2015 release date, but things happen. Just look at Zelda Wii U. And I personally didn't back the game, so it doesn't affect me personally. I don't even know if I'm planning on buying it. It really depends on the reviews.
I think a lot of the anger too, not just doesn't just come from the Kickstarter, but the fact that he did a second Kickstarter after that.
Oh yeah.
Then he did the Redashed Kickstarter. He's also talked about a sequel, a movie, an anime adaptation, all this merchandising for the game that's doesn't even really have a solid release date.
Yeah. Yeah, that I can understand completely. He was getting maybe pretty ahead of himself there. But hopefully the game does release, hopefully by summer, and hopefully it's okay. Because I know a lot of people backed it, and I just hope they sort of feel like it was well-deserved for them. Currently, the only Kickstarter game I have a back on is a Wii U game called Hex Heroes, which is like an RTS type thing from a smaller indie studio. And I'm really not sure when that game is releasing, but it's like, hey, with Kickstarters, it's kind of you're placing a bet, and you're sort of hoping that things go well. And again, hopefully, Mighty Number 9 is an okay game. Because it is coming from Inti Creates, which is a good studio. But we'll see. And next up, some pretty juicy Zelda rumors have come from Emily Rogers. Now, just a disclaimer, again, these are rumors, this is not fact. However, do keep in mind, Emily Rogers is a pretty reputable source when it comes to these kind of things. She was right in her claims about a new Paper Mario game being released this year for Wii U, that game being Paper Mario Color Splash for Wii U.
Ew.
What's that?
Ew.
Yeah, ew. Nasty, right? Feedback for that has been less than beautiful. But yeah, she has a pretty good track record of these kinds of things, and she has 3 supposed tidbits. The first one she shared being that the game is coming to both Wii U and NX. It seems like this is the one she felt the strongest about because she said something like many sources, or I think she even said a ton of people have confirmed this with me. So that seems like the most likely one anyway.
That one was also in the proven NA marketing rumor thing.
Yeah, with all the 3DS games.
Yeah, with Pokemon and Niji.
So yeah, so that's not a huge surprise that it's coming to both.
Yeah, no one would have been surprised if that was announced anyway.
Exactly. The other 2 things which might be slightly more surprising, but some people have been wishing for, but if they're true, it's awesome. Are the choice between male and female Link and voice acting for NPCs. And just to clarify, that Link would not have voice acting, just the NPCs. Now, I want to address them one at a time. To start with male and female, I think this is great. Because honestly, a lot of people say, oh, the Zelda series, it's been important for Link to be a male. It's like, well, not really. I mean, a lot of people point to the love interest between Link and Zelda, but that's not even present in a lot of the games. Additionally, a lot of the games, while they do have a story, it doesn't really revolve around Link being male at all, like in any fashion. So I honestly think this is absolutely fine if true,
Canonically, I don't think it ever makes any mention of the hero of time required to be male.
Yeah. So I'm fine with this. Obviously, there's a lot of outcry from misogynists and things like that, but haters gonna hate. People are saying, "Oh, why is this necessary?" It's like, look, you just don't play as female Link if you don't want female Link. It's pretty simple.
Why was it
options.
necessary to introduce a female in Pokemon Crystal?
Yeah, exactly. Like that's one example I point to when people say, "Oh, it's not necessary. Just stick with one." I'm like, yeah, but it's fine if Pokemon does it in every single online game ever.
Well, the online games have full-on character customization stuff, so I can see that because it would be kind of dumb if you can completely change the facial structure but not the gender.
Good point.
But yeah, there's Pokemon.
But Pokemon is a good example because that is a single-player game. Obviously, it has multiplayer, but it is primarily a single-player game. And other games come to mind. This is not a new revolutionary thing, being able to choose your gender in a game. Obviously, it's new for Zelda, but regardless, it's actually an okay thing. And really, if anything, it'll only increase sales. Obviously, there'll probably be a handful of stupid people who boycott it for that. But the number of people who buy it because of that feature will outweigh the people who choose to skip it. So in the end, it's only a good move.
Honestly,
again, this is if true.
Usually, the people who say that's it, I'm boycotting over this kind of thing, wouldn't have bought it anyway.
Good point.
Because why would an optional thing deter you from a game you really want?
Preventing you from buying arguably the most anticipated game of the year. That's just crazy talk. And my only concern with this, again, if it's real, is that is Linkle. I hope that if female Link is Linkle, then her personality is less, I guess you could say, ditzy and clumsy. And it more falls in line with Link's, I guess, more serious personality.
What I
don't know.
Imagine is it's basically just the same character except one, I don't know, has noticeable breasts and thinner or wider hips, not thinner hips.
Mm-hmm.
That's just what I'd imagine they'd do.
Right.
It's still the exact same writing. Well, replace he with she if
that's pronouns and stuff like that. Some have even pointed to the suggestion. I don't think this would be the truth. But because a lot of people have said, oh, because Link looks, so you can't really tell his gender in that early trailer, maybe it'll be the same model, and you just pick a gender, I guess, set of pronouns, which I don't think that's quite as likely. I think Nintendo would tweak the models slightly. I hope they're largely the same. Because I want to be able to play as the female, but I don't want to play as Linkle. That's the thing.
Linkle's so cute.
But I just find her voice and stuff like that annoying. I like her design, but not her voice. So, look, if it was Linkle with a different voice or something, I'd be fine. But if it's Linkle with the same voice and the same personality and everything, I'll definitely play as male Link. But for me, ideally, they're very similar, with the exception of some basic changes. But regardless, I think this is very good news. Again, very good rumor, I should say. And the second one being, again, another point of contention, and that being, I think it said not all, but most non-playable characters having voice acting, which is something a lot of people have been talking about, and there are people who are very strongly leaning towards both sides. For me, I think this could be something that's very good if done right, and I just look at Kid Icarus Uprising for that example because, again, that's a Nintendo game with voice acting that is excellent. I think if they can get something on that caliber, then it could be very special.
I just think a really easy comparison here is the vast majority of voiced visual novels don't voice the protagonist at all, but the other main NPCs and sometimes the like side characters get voiced, which if that's what I think this
Yeah.
means, that kind of thing. So if so, I think that's fine.
Right.
Plus, there's other like open world sandbox games. Usually, you play in first person for them, but where you never speak, but NPCs do.
Right. On Xenoblade X, not even first person, but that does adhere to that. The protagonist has no voice. And it's funny, you can actually play that game in first person. It's actually pretty cool. Most of it, anyway. But again, yeah. So for me, it's like if the voice acting is good, I'm 100% all for this, and I have full confidence that it would be good. I know Nintendo in this day and age wants Zelda to maintain high quality, and a lot of people point to, oh, look at the Zelda cartoon. It's like, yeah, but that was back Nintendo when they didn't care about their brand image quite as much.
What about
But I think
Metroid Other M?
true. I mean, that's a. To be fair, that was a Team Ninja developed game, right, and not a Nintendo EAD developed.
Mm-hmm.
But I can see that point as well. I can see that point. So personally, all three of these points I think are very positive. No matter how you spin it. I hope they're true. I hope we hear rumors or not rumors. I hope we hear solid details on the game soon. Maybe even like the first, I guess you could say real gameplay, because we haven't really had real gameplay yet. Because I want to play the game very badly. Everything about it just seems so good, and seems like it'll be such an amazing experience. In terms of what I'll buy it on, probably NX. Unless the Wii U gamepad really benefits the game, then I see no reason to play it on the Wii U, because the NX version will obviously have superior visuals and that kind of thing. I highly doubt I'll buy both versions unless there's some sort of big incentive to, which you never know, there could be. But yeah, I'm excited. Very, very fun rumors. I mean, honestly, there's also the argument that, these things shouldn't be leaked because it's more exciting. But the thing is, it's not like Nintendo was going to release this news anytime soon anyway. Seeing as we haven't heard anything solid about the game since December of 2014. But, anyway, moving on. We have, talking a little bit more about Miitomo, because it's been out for, I think, a week now in North America. And sort of talking about the state of things. So anyway, I guess, Connor, you could talk about first, how your ideas and thoughts of it, I guess, have progressed or changed throughout the week, or for you, maybe even more, because you've been playing the Japanese version as well.
Well, when I played the Japanese version, I only had Cheesemeister, Arms, Tyler, and for like a day you as friends. But now I have those three minus Cheesemeister because the notifications were kind of annoying, which I'll get into later. But
Yeah.
I also have a bunch of other friends on Twitter, some real life friends from Facebook, and it's just kind of a pain sitting through, like, this person says their favorite smell is butts. This person says
Yeah.
if they had free time today, they would watch anime. This person says their favorite food is pizza.
Yeah, some of the answers aren't very interesting, and that's why I think it's good, just as a general whole. Like, look, if you're listening to this, please don't make your answers one word, please. Like, try to maybe do 2 sentences and elaborate on it a little bit, because that makes it so much easier to reply. Like, if you just do one word answer, I'm most likely just going to skip it and not comment or like it or anything.
Yeah.
So just a word of advice. Everybody wins if you have detailed replies.
Or if you can't think of anything, just skip and then come back later.
Just come back to it later, yeah.
Don't even go back. I have a couple questions.
Yeah, like,
I have no intention of going back.
Yeah, no, I have like 10 questions. I'm like, I'm never gonna answer this, and that's fine. Don't don't answer. Don't get the question, what did you do last weekend, and say nothing. Like, don't do that. Nobody wants to hear that. I'm sorry. It's just not interesting. Just skip it and come back to it later.
Or same thing as last weekend. I had someone say that.
Oh yeah, that too. And if you're gonna say that, say what it actually is.
Because I don't remember what you did last weekend.
So anyway, I've been enjoying the app kind of. I've been using it daily for, about 10, 15 minutes a day. I love the My Nintendo Platinum coins I get out of it. That's very nice. It adds up over time, certainly. I still think the music and sound effects and everything are very cute. Some people in my school have been using it, which is great. The face-to-face feature now works. I remember last week I talked about it not working with someone for some reason. Still don't know why that happened, but now it works for me. And it's been good. I hope they start adding Miitomo drops and clothes more frequently, because they added the ninja thing, but like that's the only one they added in the first week.
Hey, that bread shirt was 10 out of 10. I'm still wearing
yeah.
it.
Amazing. I have the red pants. I don't have the shirt though.
I have the pants too, but they look dumb.
Oh yeah, you got to mix and match. But anyway, I hope they can start updating the game more frequently, because remember, if you look on the top 3 charts on iTunes, it's now number 13, which is quite the difference from being number 1 for almost a week.
Mm-hmm.
I checked earlier today and it was like 5. I'm like, oh, that's unfortunate. But now I look and it's 13, so it's like, whoa, it's plummeting. So Nintendo needs to do something if they want to keep it relevant. I am enjoying the game, but like they need to do something. Basically, that's the end of story.
So just 2 complaints. One of them I have, and one of them I've seen really popular, but I also share, but I didn't come up with it. The one I have is when, like, the recent tab, when there's like a new comment or something, has a little orange dot on it. And it's really annoying when you have no relevance to the conversation. Like, if there was a question that, say, was answered a week ago and for some reason has a conversation going still, and you didn't like that post, you didn't comment on it at all.
You just viewed it.
Yeah, it's still popping up, and it's like, why? I don't care.
Yeah, I wish there was a button like, don't show me notifications for this post or something like that,
Yeah, or even just only show notifications for a post I've liked or commented on.
Right, yeah, exactly. Yeah, I agree. That can be a bit frustrating to filter through. There are definitely some fixes that need to be made. Hopefully they do those. I know it's only been at a week, but it's felt like it's been so long. My main thought is I'm really looking forward to what their next apps do. As much as this is very cool, very Nintendo, it's not a game, and I was kind of looking forward to a game. So I'm really looking forward to whatever the games actually are, I remember them saying the games would be paid. I forget if they said the games would have microtransactions. Do you remember?
I don't think they commented on that at all.
Okay. But
Usually,
I'm looking forward.
Paid games don't have microtransactions, though.
So I'm really looking forward to that. I'm wondering how much it'll cost, somewhere in the price range of upwards of $4, I guess. We'll see.
It seems to be successful on the App Store. Like, even from big-name devs, you want to keep it under $5.99.
Yeah, because as soon as it's more, people just see it as a luxury app and they don't want to pay for it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the App Store economy, people are incredibly cheap on there. I'm sure the same thing is true on Android.
Yeah. I think Minecraft's like the only successful Android app over $5.
Right.
And the other complaint is I didn't even notice this until I was watching the Crunchy Cast and they pointed it out, and now I just can't avoid it. Every time it pops up, it just annoys me so much. If you exit the app, even if you just make it not the active app, you have to completely reload the game. So say if someone makes a funny comment and I want to share it on Twitter, take screen cap, close the app, not even fully closed, just put it not active, go to Twitter, upload the picture, post, go back, and it has to load now, and the app's not exactly fast at loading. But then take like Love Live, if I take a screenshot of that, go to Twitter, upload it, go back to Love Live, I'm instantly right back where I was. No loading.
Yeah, so while it is a small amount of loading, it certainly takes you out of it a little bit, which, hopefully they could speed that up somehow. Don't know how. I wish it would speed up if you had power saving mode on, but it doesn't. I have power saving mode on, it does not speed it up. Also, power saving mode doesn't even save that much power, which, whatever.
Can't even notice a performance difference when I have it on and off.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I don't even know what it is. Maybe it's like slight frame rate, but whatever.
Yeah, I think what it's supposed to do is drop the frame rate and the visual quality, but
It's barely noticeable.
I'm not sure if it's at the point where it's normally displaying at a higher resolution and frame rate than my phone can support, but I don't think so, because I'm pretty sure my phone does 1080 60, and I can't imagine the game running higher than that.
Right. So anyway, that's Miitomo. I'm gonna keep checking in daily, mainly for my Nintendo points. But some of the questions are interesting to answer, and some of the comment threads are fun. But really, I'm mainly in it for the my Nintendo points at the moment. But anyway, so our next topic is relating to, I guess you could say, the debate or topic of whether or not Nintendo of America needs a complete restructure. So NeoGAF member HatchX has a thread, and he points out a few points. Well, he says Nintendo of America is the biggest problem with Nintendo. He points out declining sales and market share in their biggest territory, Western third-party support declining and far worse than Japanese third-party support. Other than Retro Studios, all of Nintendo's development talent is in Japan.
He also forgot about Next Level Games.
Oh, that too. Nintendo firing Alison Rapp completely uncalled for. That's up for debate.
Yeah.
Generally god-awful marketing, abysmal handling of the Wii U. Yes, that's true. Declining 3DS sales. Well, that's kind of to be expected. Disregarding the regular-sized new 3DS. That's true. Faceplates leaving money on the table. Yeah, they kind of didn't really advertise the little one at all. Poor handling of Amiibo, unable to supply demands. That's kind of changed, though.
Yeah, I wouldn't count that anymore. Like, if you go to a store now, you can, like, even, it's, 2-3 weeks after Wii U came out, and I can still see him fine.
Yeah. Declining presence in retail outlets and storefronts, absolutely. Reggie talking a big game, then making it obvious he's never played Smash Bros. For more than 5 minutes, and he says this one's kind of a joke, but he's right.
Yeah.
He's god-awful.
Like, jumping off the...
Oh, yeah, like that. It leads you to believe that his controller was broken, how bad he was playing.
Yeah, that's not just... My sister plays better than him.
Yeah, like, he was playing at the level of a 2-year-old. No exaggeration. The last Nintendo Direct leaking almost entirely. Yes, another good point.
That was Europe, though.
Was it?
Yeah,
was it?
That was Nintendo Netherlands that leaked it.
Got it. So disregard that point. And completely lacking in popular Western genres, absolutely. He specifically notes FPS and sports genres. So yeah, that's true. We really don't have those, and we need them for NX. And lastly, he says the digital and online presence of Nintendo, not that this isn't Japan's fault, but anyway, isn't doing anything to help. And then he goes on to say, I like Bill Trinen, but I have such little faith in NOA to do things even half right. I get the feeling, or at least I hope I get the feeling, that Nintendo is turning a new page with the NX. I agree. It would be a good time to let some heads roll at NOA and get some new blood, give them some autonomy, and allow Nintendos to expand more in the Western market. Yeah, I agree.
So,
what's interesting... Oh, what were you going to say?
Well, one thing that he forgot was what we mentioned earlier with the marketing leak. That the Pokemon Niji and stuff. Because that was Nintendo America. And probably stuff like Color Splash. I'm assuming that that leak came out of North America.
But anyway, so what's interesting is, look, I don't know if I should take this as an early sign, but the fact that they've rebranded to Red, I think is pretty cool, and that's a step, right? Because a lot of people are underestimating it. Understandably so. It seems like a small change, but a company's logo can do and mean so much in so many ways, you know. Like just having a modern image, having an image that's appealing to consumers. I personally feel their new red and white logo is so much more appealing than their previous white and gray one, which to me just looked, even as a Nintendo fan, it didn't get me excited. It was plain boring. But I love, the new one is very aesthetically pleasing.
Gray is like the most boring color you can choose.
Yeah, and mix it with white, nonetheless. And I guess I get what they were going for. They wanted the colors in the Wii logo to be everywhere, but that time has passed. So I'm betting the NX logo will have some red in it. I sure hope it does. That would look good. I'm guessing like maybe gray and red. We'll see. Or just red and white. That would look so good. That would look so good.
3DS is
Um,
red and white.
well, yeah, but you could also say black, right?
Yeah.
But good point. We already kind of have that red with the 3DS. Additionally, well, not really anything else additionally. I do agree with a lot of the things here. Their marketing has been pretty abysmal. The hard thing about it for me is, as a Nintendo fan, with them being I guess you could say my primary, systems of choice, you're sort of in your own world a little bit when you play Nintendo games. And so a lot of the stuff, a lot of the advertising, I'm like, well, when you're there for it, you don't really notice it. But like looking from the outside, it's like, yeah, some of this stuff is pretty bad. So I do agree to some degree that a lot of things need to be changed. I think the biggest one is the marketing of systems. The NX, they need to do we've talked about this a lot before, but they need to do a much better job marketing the NX than they did the Wii U. I think we all can agree on that. And well, I don't know. Reggie should learn to play Smash. That too. Like, the whole thing about less than 5 minutes of Smash, I'm willing to bet he's played 0 minutes of Smash before that tournament.
I think Nintendo should try to adopt a similar, I guess, approach as Sony with PlayStation.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Sony's killing it.
Because Nintendo America, like all these points, they can't actually control a lot of this. Nintendo Company Limited, which mistakenly a lot of people call Nintendo Japan, they control a lot of this. So if they allow Nintendo America to kind of start doing their own thing, like back in the 80s, Nintendo America made Star Tropics completely unrelated to the main company. It never even released on the Famicom.
Oh, wow. So that was developed by Nintendo of America?
Yeah.
Wow, I did not know that.
Yeah, that's probably the reason it hasn't been represented in Smash.
Yeah,
but,
good point.
If you look at Sony, like, probably their biggest game this year is Uncharted 4. That's coming from, I think, Santa Monica, California.
Isn't that Naughty Dog?
Yeah, it's Naughty Dog, but I think Naughty Dog's based
that's where they
in
are.
Santa Monica.
Okay.
But then, like, taking some of their other big games, The Last Guardian's coming from Japan, Tearaway, Little Big Planet series, or Media Molecule, which are England. Infamous is Sucker Punch, which I think is Hollywood. God of War is Sony Santa Monica. So they're kind of just all over the place. I guess California has a big focus, but other than that, Sony's just kind of everywhere. And I'm pretty sure Uncharted is... I don't know how big it is in Japan, but I know it gets released there. So I just think Nintendo should try a similar approach to Sony. So
you mean in terms of development studios?
Yeah, like just spread everyone around. Because right now, like, I don't know their Japan sales to compare, but I would imagine that North America probably... This guy says it's their biggest. I'd imagine it's probably, if not as big as Japan, probably really close.
Right.
So they're like, sure, they get Mario appeals here and Splatoon appealed here, but they aren't building any games for our audience like Uncharted or Infamous that happen to also be popular in Japan. They're just kind of building games for Japan that happen to also be popular here.
Yeah, it seems like, hopefully Zelda Wii U will be a step in that direction, because if you remember Aonuma's comments, which a lot of people freaked out about like, a switch from Japanese food to Western food. Yeah. Now, I'm not sure if he was literally directly referring to Japan to the West, or literally just a change in style. I'm not sure which one he meant.
I think it was the change in style.
Okay. Well, so a lot of people obviously took that comment out of context. But, I think we can hopefully see that with Zelda Wii U. Hopefully. It's kind of speculation, but I can see where you're coming from. And I think also in the advertising department and the storefront slash, how they sell systems department, Sony, aside from the Vita, let's just say PS4 Sony is killing it.
Well, also I don't like the PS3. I think was Sony's worst selling home console, and even that wasn't bad.
Right.
So
But then the PS4 just exploded.
yeah, and the PS2 is the best selling console of all time.
Yeah.
PS1 is like top 5. I think it's 5th.
Interesting. You can see a pattern. PS2 best selling, and then a slump, and then a big success. Wii best selling slump success time. Hopefully.
But
Um,
like Sony, I think has kind of figured out that you want to like focus in on the entire world. Like they have dev studios, as we said, all over the world. So they're able to like say, okay, the FPSs are popular in North America. Sure, not everyone buys them, but if we have someone who makes FPSs in North America, there's also going to be people in Europe and Japan that want them, and we can make money off those probably minority people, but we'll make a lot more money in North America.
True. But if we do see this restructure, even if it's not a full restructure, I think we can expect a lot of it to happen later this year or during this year, leading up to the NX release. It should be it should be an interesting time for Nintendo. Between mobile and theme parks, which might not even come to America, and movies, it's going to be a big time of change. And, hopefully they do see some change in the company because, new blood is good.
By the way,
and I guess we're just going to have to wait and see.
Aren't all Retro's games like headed from someone by Japan though? Because
What do you mean headed? Sorry.
like the producer, it's always someone from NCL. Like the Metroid Prime games, I can't remember his name right now, but he's producing Federation Force. And I think
Sakamoto or someone else?
maybe I can't remember.
He's the dude who made Miitomo, I can tell you that.
Yeah, it was him.
Okay, Sakamoto.
So, like, even then, like, they're still using Japan's influence on the Western games because
Good point.
I don't know about the Donkey Kong Country games, but I mean those are platformers. It's hard. You don't really influence those.
Yeah, it's interesting. Anyway, so we have a poll for you guys. Well, first we'll talk about last week's poll, which I believe, was it Miitomo related?
Yeah, are you enjoying Miitomo?
Cool. And the results, which I'll pull up. Well, I'll pull up the results in a minute, but for starters,
I have the results right now if you want.
Oh, you have the results? Okay, sure. Yeah, let's do it.
So, I don't know if this is the biggest split we've ever had, but it's certainly one of them. With 37 votes, 84% said yes and 16% said no.
Nice. Yeah, that was surprisingly overwhelming. I agree that a lot of our polls have been pretty close as a whole, but this is a pretty big split. So interesting. It would be interesting to do a follow-up maybe a month or a few weeks down the road, like, are you still playing Miitomo, which, I'll probably be closer to 50-50. But anyway, so our poll for this week is going to be relating to the Zelda Wii U rumors. Again, they are rumors, not fact, not yet anyway. So if the rumors are true, in Zelda Wii U, will your Link be a boy or a girl? So pretty simple, boy versus girl. Which one will you choose? That's going to be our poll, and it's going to be up. Connor, when is it going to be up? Any approximation?
Wednesday, 9:30 a.m. Pacific time.
Okay, cool. And they usually last a whole week, right? Or around a week anyway. 2 days, my bad. So you'll have more than a day anyway.
Yeah, they last 48 hours.
Got it. So that's going to be our next poll. Boy or girl Link. And yeah, please check that out and retweet it, share it with your friends. And a couple things we're going to talk about. So we have a Patreon we want to let you guys know about. And you can pitch as little as $1 to get exclusive access to the Blaze Kick podcast and other benefits.
First episode
out. Oh yeah, first episode is out now. And and that's a monthly podcast, so you're gonna have to wait a little bit for the next episode. But those are exclusive to Patreon patrons. And yeah, there are other benefits as well. And basically, by doing that, you can help us get better equipment because obviously we don't have a lot of time or money on our hands. So better equipment for recording videos, better equipment for audio recording, money to continue hosting our site, things like that to just help keep the ship afloat so we can keep making stuff for you guys because we love making stuff. We just want it to be better, Additionally, we have a current giveaway going on Twitter. I guess we'll put the link to that tweet in the description, but it's a tweet on the BlazeKick tweet account. And if you retweet it, follow the BlazeKick account, and follow Big Mike on Twitter, and his handle is Big Mike or at Big Mike 8109. So if you follow him and follow at BlazeKick tweet and retweet the tweet, you will be entered for a chance to win a Ryu amiibo. That is Ryu Super Smash Bros. Amiibo. And that giveaway is good until April 15th. So you still have a little bit of time there.
Speaking of Big Mike, he's going to be on next week.
Nice. Hype. Hopefully we can have a 4-man show. We'll see. Actually, I think I'm going to be busy, so that might work out well. Yeah. I mean, I have driving lessons, so rip. Unless we do it late. We'll see. And what else do we have to tell you guys?
Questions.
I mean, do we have any... questions. Question time.
So, Paper Kamek wants a shout-out. Here's your shout-out.
All right, go follow... How do we spell Paper Tamek's name?
Paper Kamek. Just paper,
Kamek, I'm sorry.
then the Mario enemy.
And then, yep. No, sorry, I thought you said Tamek. I'm like, what is that? Yeah, go follow Paper Kamek.
Jay has 2 questions. His first is Koro Sensei or Umi. Koro Sensei, Noah has no idea who either is. But
yeah, no, I have no idea what that means.
Do you want to give your answer anyway?
I'm gonna go with Koro Sensei as well.
Good. And will there be more than 2 gyms in Sun and Moon? This is what we forgot to actually report on, I guess. Junichi Masuda, why did I forget his name? Confirmed on Pokinichi. One, exactly what we said last week was going to happen, happened, with the only new footage being the reveal trailer. But 2, he confirmed there will be 10 new Pokemon in Sun and Moon. And BlazeKick got the exclusive reveal that there will be more than 4 trainers in the game as well.
Wow.
Yeah. So I guess Jay's looking for a little more info. Unfortunately, Jay, we are embargoed on some information that we do have. So we cannot reveal any more exciting Sun and Moon details, including the amount of gyms that will be in the game.
Right. However, we are allowed to tell you there will be at least 1 gym.
Yes, there will be at least 1. We can't reveal if there will be any more, though.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, stay tuned. We will try... We're currently working out the details on when we can reveal that information, but... it's up to Nintendo when they want that out... Or Game Freak when they want that out there, so...
Yeah, absolutely. Also, Nintendo, if you're listening to this, we're kidding. Don't sue us.
And
questions?
Arms asks,
Arms.
When should Nintendo officially announce the NX? Well, technically they already did, but I'm assuming he means like show it off, give it its final name, and
like
all that stuff.
Reveal.
Yeah. I would say before I was saying February because that's how the PS4 and Xbox One did. February conference and then E3 focused on games. However, at this point, it's looking like E3. I can't really see them doing a conference. They might, but I think it's really unlikely they'll do one before that.
Interesting. I'm personally hoping they do. They do one in maybe late May or mid-May.
I hope they do.
Yeah. You just think it's unlikely?
Yeah.
We'll see. That'll be interesting. It's going to be exciting.
One last question that actually came after we'd started recording. Ooh, cutting it close there.
From
nice. Pokey Artist, what's your ideal VR game? A game based on an existing IP or something completely new?
Okay.
Presumably this is talking about Nintendo, but I'm not.
I'm gonna assume. I mean, let's just say
I
we
guess
can
he didn't specify it, so yeah, let's do anything.
Although for me personally, I have some great ideas related to Nintendo. I'm going to talk about 3 of them very quickly. Actually, 4 of them. And they're not all my personal ideas. A couple of them come from a Game Informer article. One of them being Phoenix Wright, which I think that would be pretty awesome, especially the courtroom sequences. I think you tweeted at me that there might be a problem with it or something. I forget if that was you.
It wasn't me.
Okay. But I think that would be very cool, having that feeling like you're actually in the courtroom. That would certainly make it a very unique experience. I would also say maybe for some more creative applications, Metroid Prime would be so good because, it's already set up to sort of feel like VR a little bit, right? Because you have the headset bobbing and everything.
Yeah,
and just having that on an actual VR headset would be amazing.
Can't you see Samus's reflection, kind of? In
Yeah.
the games?
Yeah. It would be amazing if they somehow made it so you could see your own reflection. That would be crazy.
I think the headsets have like a camera pointing at you.
So I think so.
Probably do that.
Yeah, that would be ridiculous. And you could make some pretty scary stuff in Metroid Prime with that. Because some of those games have some spooky stuff to begin with, but doing it in VR, man. And also, my other 2, well, one of them is Nintendogs. I think it would be amazing. And Nintendo could use the haptic touch. They could make dog fur touch. Obviously that wouldn't warrant a full experience, but like a downloadable game or something like that. And last but not least, some form of a Pikmin game I think would be very cool. Especially if you can, at some times be at Olimar's first-person perspective and see the world, all the giant enemies and things around you would be very cool. And pretty scary, too. What do you think?
Me, I can only really think of 2 things. One of them that you basically wrapped up, just like Metroid, or I guess Pikmin 2, just first-person. Would have to be a game that actually works in first-person, I've played Mirror's Edge, but I don't really like platformers in first person, so I don't want to see like Mario or Kirby or something. Kirby would be really dumb in first person.
Yeah, that would be pretty stupid.
But the other one, I'm not sure if Nintendo owns this IP or not. Now, I know they didn't, but Fatal Frame, just because that's like all about taking pictures and stuff, so they could probably make it look pretty cool, as if kind of have the camera looking right at or up to the screen, so you see the edges of the camera as you look through the
It would be so cool if you could have a peripheral that wasn't actually a camera, but it was built just like a camera. That would be awesome. That would be super immersive. And the other one I wanted to mention, which is also from the Game Informer article, would be WarioWare. Because Nintendo has always done very cool stuff with gimmicks in WarioWare, right? Yeah. Like with the Wii Remote, with the motion controls on the Game Boy Advance Twisted or whatever, and touched, and imagine it in VR, all the cool stuff they could do. That could potentially be pretty awesome. And that's it for that question. That's a fun question to talk about. That's fun to ponder. And that's, I think, the last one, right?
Yeah.
Cool. So we already plugged, again, our Ryu Amiibo giveaway. Check that out on Twitter. Link in the description. As well as the Blaze Kick podcast, which you can gain access to by pledging at least $1 a month on our Patreon, which we'll also put in the description. And I'll be sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel. That's Blaze Kick Media if you're listening on iTunes or some other service. Subscribe and rate on iTunes. Be sure to share this episode on Twitter. So just click the share button, then click Twitter or Facebook or whatever you use. And visit and like our Facebook page. We have a Facebook page that's /BlazeKickMedia. And of course, follow us on Twitter at BlazeKickTweet. I'm at Dashy007.
I'm at ArmsMXC.
And Arms is at 331. And of course, visit our website, blazekick.com. That's where we put all our reviews, editorials. Connor's definitely the primary writer, but that's where we put all our stuff. Yeah. And thank you guys for listening.
I'm just going to quickly interject here. Anime shoutouts not dead. It's just most stuff hasn't even aired yet, so this season's starting pretty spread out, so I'm going to wait till next week, even though potentially whatever I happen to choose might be on episode 3 by then. You guys just have to wait. I'm sorry.
Oh no.
I know.
Heartbreak. Tragedy on Nintendo Unleashed.
Well,
we drama podcast now.
We already had Arms's glasses dying.
Oh yeah, true. This is 2-in-1. So, look, if you're listening to this episode and you're feeling particularly down after, just give us a tweet and we'll cheer you up. We'll send you a gif of an octopus.
Or don't forget to tweet arms, #ripglasses.
Oh, yeah, #ripglasses. And tweet him a penguin emoji. Did we get any penguin emojis on the article?
No.
Okay, good.
All
right, bye everyone. So, if the rumors are true, will you play as male or female Link?
I really hope the game just starts with, are you a boy or a girl?
Yeah, or they have, instead of Professor Oak, they have like Impa or something.
Or just some generic old guy just walks up,
Yeah.
are you a boy or a girl? It's like, what?